Hello, everyone here or in the world who will be watching this. I'm Devika Girish. I'm a critic and curator based in New York. I'm the editor of Film Comment magazine and a programmer at Film at Lincoln Center. And I am really thrilled to be moderating this press conference today with some of the filmmakers who have really incredible selections in this year's World Cinema program at MAMI, which, from my understanding, is one of the most awaited sections for the audience here because it's a really rare chance to see films that have been traveling all over the world at other festivals from all corners of the globe. So let me quickly introduce the filmmakers, and I use the word filmmaker broadly because we have a producer as well on the panel today. So first of all, we have Amjad Al Rasheed, the director of Inshallah, a Boy, a film from Jordan. Great to have you here, Amjad.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We have Annie Ohayon, the producer of Orlando, My Political Biography, which is a feature directed by Paul B. Preciado, a Spanish theorist based in France, and the film is French.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting the film and me.
We have Ismail Baspet, who is the director of Sara, a film from Indonesia.
Good to see you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
We have Nehir Tuna, the director. Hello. The director of Dormitory, which is from Turkey.
Yes, thank you very much for having us here.
Thanks for joining us. We have Savanah Leaf, who's the director of Earth Mama, coming here from the US.
Hi, thank you.
And we have Tommaso Santobrogio, the director of Oceans of the Real Continents. I believe Tommaso is Italian and the film is set in Cuba.
Yes,
so it's
right.
an Italian-Cuban production. So thank you all for joining, and I wanted to start by just asking if any of you have ever screened a film in Mumbai before, and what your experience has been so far. If you've already had your screening, kind of what surprised you, and if you haven't had your screening yet, what are you most looking forward to about sharing the film at MAMI? And Amjad, shall we begin with you?
First of all, I'm very honored to have screened my film here in India and meet Indian audience, an audience that I'm very keen to understand more, to show my film, and I feel that it was very important for me to be here for many different reasons. So before coming to Mumbai, I screened my film in TIFF last month. And there, you know, there is like big Indian community there who watched the film. And there I felt like they connected with the film so much. And they felt that there is a lot of common things between Jordan and India, cultural-wise and story-wise, and I felt that it's very important for me to be here and to share such a story with the Indian audience. I'm very happy to be here. Yeah.
And have you had your premiere yet here?
Yes, yesterday. Yeah.
And what was the audience reaction like? Was it what you expected?
It was amazing, to be honest. I was sitting. Usually, I attend the first 10 minutes, then I leave the theater, and I come the last 20 minutes of the screening. And this is what I did yesterday. And I felt like people are reacting very well to the film during the film. And there is something about Indian audience that you feel the reaction in the movie. More than other audience, like other audience also, like I got some, like they react immediately on some story beats during the film. But here I felt like people are clapping, or people want to clap but they're waiting. So it was really interesting to show this and to get this reaction. And after that we had like beautiful Q&A. People were curious about certain story points, and I felt that they engaged with the character and the story itself. So it was really good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Annie, I mean, I was at the screening of your film, and I saw how wonderful it was. But yeah, please, would love to hear your experience of sharing your film in Mumbai so far.
Yeah, first of all, thank you really for inviting me because it's really a new experience for me. I'm usually traveling to European festivals or American US festivals, and it's just amazing for me because I'm discovering different audiences. And I will be back to what Amjad said, that it's really a different experience and the different reactions. I was just also amazed, and I'm not saying that because you were one of them, but my two moderators, because I've already had my two screenings, and my two moderators were really very interesting and smart. It just, both of them enlightened things that it's not that I didn't see them in the film, but with other words, you know, and it's always very interesting. It's also very interesting for me to share my producer experience with the audience, which is quite rare, actually, and I'm for sure I'm very fine with the fact that they are inviting the director usually, but I love this. I love this to share this experience.
Ismail, did you want to say a few words about your experience here?
Yeah, hello. In my case, my first two screening is done already, but I didn't attend because of my schedule. I just arrived last night, but I'm looking forward for the third screening. That there will be a Q&A. But in my uh, condition, yeah, I grew up with Indian cinema because in Indonesia many people watch Indian films, and just across of my parent house we have these old theaters that they screen the same movie again and again during my childhood. So then I feel familiar with Indian cultures, Indian cinema. But then when I just arrived here, this is my first time to India and to Mumbai, especially to the film festival. So I feels that it's nothing at all the same with the movie, you know. I think the cultures and everything is way much more bigger and more interesting, more various with I see with my eyes. And I think it's been a quite an experience for me to be here and experience Mumbai. And for the festival is also I attending one of the class, and it's very interesting class. And yeah, I think that's it from me. I mean,
What are some Indian films that you remember from your childhood?
from my childhood, you like Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, that's the most
Oh.
popular. And you know, when we watch that, every time we finish, we repeat it again and again. You know, just so that we enjoy it. Gitu. That's why. Uh, but lately, I watch more series. You know, through the platform, and you know, like all those popularity with the crime drama.
Yeah.
Now Indian filmmakers make a lot of crime drama. I also familiar with that, but just a few that I watch. But then again, I think I'm gonna keep enjoying this opportunity. Thank you for the festival, for inviting me and my producer there also, Charlie. And thank you for having our film, Sarah. And the good news is, just before we got here, the Indonesian Oscar just got the gift nomination for our actress for the best actress. This is the first trans woman who ever got nominated for best actress in Indonesia. So all of this award or nomination, I think that's I want to give it back to the audience and the community too. You know, that's what I think. That's why here I'm gonna enjoy it too with the audience.
Yeah, and congratulations to you and your actress, Asma. It's a wonderful honor. Nihir, did you want to say a few words?
Sure, yeah. I just arrived this morning, so I didn't have the chance to attend the first screening, which was, I think, the first day. But I was, getting some messages on Instagram about some of the viewers who've seen the film and who enjoyed it, and you made really good comments. so I was quite happy to hear all those, and I've been looking forward to come here and attend the screening and share that enthusiasm with them, and answer questions and it's always good to interact with the audience afterwards because not in my case it didn't happen, but sometimes there was once that someone didn't understand the ending, but it's always good to be present and just because we make personal stories and it's always good to be able to be with the audience and answer some questions and
have you showed your films in India before?
this is my first time. I've never been in India. But I knew a lot about India, and it's exactly how I imagined so far. But no, this is my first time. I'm very excited. I wish I could stay more, and I look forward to the screening.
Great. Savanah, what has it been like showing your film in India?
Yeah, so this is my first time to India, and it feels very special to be here. The audience has been very engaged in every kind of aspect of filmmaking that you don't always get an audience that's so engaged with, like the craft of cinema, which I really enjoyed and loved hearing how people resonated with the film, and I've also loved doing some Q&As with you.
Tommaso?
Yeah, it was great also to me. We'll keep it short, but yeah, the the great thing is, as you were saying, guys, that the reaction of the audience. I mean, like a lot of people wrote to me, that stopped me after the screening, talking, asking questions. So it was really like interesting. It was really like you can feel the passion of this country for cinema. You can feel it in an epidemic way. So it's really like touching this point. And then I was really curious about the clash between the pace of my movie that is placed like in the inland of Cuba. There is really like a slow pace with like people walking slowly, doing things like in a different kind of way in comparison to Bombay, like Mumbai. Yeah, I just arrived here, and I was like, eaten by like the sounds of like the tuk-tuk and by the cars, the traffic, and so on. And everything is going like so fast and so quick, and the cars, the people, a lot of things. You can feel the country that is growing. And on the other end, my movie is placed like in a country that is not growing, it's kind of imploding. So it's like slowly imploding. I was curious about the clash of this space between like the audience and the movie, and so even the reaction out of that was really interesting. Yeah.
Lovely. So other than Ismail's film, all of the others on this panel are debut features from my understanding. I was wondering if all of you could speak a little to what it's like to make your first feature in your respective industries, or in your respective sort of film worlds where you come from. And Ismail, I know this is not your first feature, but like you just said, it is a first in some ways, the subject matter and the kind of response it's getting. So I'd be curious to know your experience as well, of making it within the Indonesian film industry. But maybe, I don't know, maybe Nahir, will start with you. I'm just picking.
Because I'm not the first. Yeah.
Oh, I was actually referring to Nahir.
Oh,
but,
okay, okay,
but
okay,
anyone,
okay.
it's up for grabs.
I'm lucky then. Yeah.
I have been working on this film for quite a while, and I'm so happy that it's my first film because it's very personal. It's based on my own childhood, and It's about this 14-year-old boy who was sent to a strict Islamic religious dormitory by his newly religious father, and he's trying to navigate between his father's expectations and his his own choices and pain of growing up, and so to me it's very special, and I always see. I will always keep making like very personal stories because I see filmmaking as a very like a therapeutic session, and it's a long and expensive therapeutic session, and to me it's the best way to deal with these kind of like little, you know, traumas, and especially if you grow up like me, away from the loved ones, because I stayed in a dormitory for 5 years, and it was hard and tough to be away from the loved ones, and I find refuge in you know, going back to those moments and working on them, reliving them, for the sake of you know, sharing them one day with you know, audiences, and I'm so happy to be here and finally having made the film and shared with audience. So
And
yeah.
what, just in terms of the production process as a first-time feature filmmaker in Turkey, what was that like? What were some of the major challenges? Was it funding or production?
I don't know
or
where to start because it was such a chaos.
Yeah.
We couldn't find any support from Turkey. We only found private investors, and we had some funds from Germany and France, which came very late in the post-production. So it was just so hard to ignite, to start this whole thing, and then I kept postponing and postponing, and that kind of allowed me to, like, you know, go back and work on. So the more the development process, the crazier you get, and the nitpicky you know, you become, and in a way it works for your benefit because you evolve as a filmmaker, you become better and better. That was my experience. Maybe it's not the same for anyone, for some you know, others, but so in a nutshell, it was so hard to start because we had no money to start with. But that's not the case for everyone, you know, because once you have the government support, it kind of unlocks the European funds or other funds around the globe, and it's just easier. But I wish there are more support systems that does not require to have initial fundings that comes from your own country, because that's the major expectation of the funds, that you need to have support from your own country or own government, and that is not just the case for first of all my country, and I know many other countries, and I can't imagine how many voices are being lost in this way because they just never get the chance to do those films. So that was the major problem I faced.
Well, you're here now, so
Yes.
you made it. Amjad, maybe we'll go to you next. I also wanted to mention that your film is Jordan's official selection or submission for the Oscars, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the first Jordanian feature to have screened at Cannes, where you premiered in the Critics' Week. So a really big splash with your first movie. So yeah, can you tell us about the journey of getting the film made?
Actually, I share with Nahir, right? Nahir, yes, same experience. It was tough. It was not easy at all. It took me 6 years between development and financing this film, convincing people that I can do this film, convincing people of this sensitive topic And even though that in Jordan we have a local fund, at first I didn't get it. Then I applied again when I got it. So it's not easy. It's a big competition because there are little small funds here and there, and as independent movie, you're not backed by a studio, or you're not doing it like with investors' money who believe in cinema, and so it's not like that. So at first, I think the key for financing this film was to go into film markets, where we presented the film. The first film market we got selected in was Thessaloniki Film Festival, Agora Film Market, which was one of the most important, I think, markets in Europe. It's not a flashy big film festival, but the key people were there. We didn't get any award at the market itself, but we put the film on the map. You know what I mean? And starting from there, we went to another market in Cairo Film Connection. We got a small award for development, and from there we were able to feel that, oh, this is appealing for some people, so we need to keep going. And I think what I learned reflecting back on the whole journey, it's patient, and believing in what you want to do, believing in the dream itself. It's my dream. It's a very personal story to me, and believe in it and have a long breath, we say in Arabic. Yeah.
Savanah, your film also, I mean, you have a very unique journey. You were an Olympic athlete, and then you worked in music videos, and, so you kind of had this circuitous route to making your first feature, but it's an A24 film. It screened at many major festivals, including opening at the Sundance Film Festival, and it's traveling widely. So talk a little bit about that journey. What was it like making your first film, I guess, in the U.S., in the ecosystem that you're a part of?
Yeah, I mean, making my first film, I transitioned from being an athlete into a filmmaker, and that was a huge transition in my life, but it enabled me to kind of share my thoughts and feelings in a way that I never had done before. Before, I was always kind of just working from my body and this athleticism that I have. And so that transition, it was really scary, sharing the first draft of the script. I was just terrified, like, does anyone even care what my thoughts are, or is it even any good? But that first draft, the first kind of support we got was from Film 4, because I'm also British. And that support was really important because it kind of led us into this development, and me also gaining confidence in my own voice. Even while doing music videos and commercials, I think actually writing from that personal story, that journey, is just so vulnerable and therapeutic as well. And then, A24 came on board to co-finance and produce and distribute the film. So it was, it's been a really beautiful, scary, terrifying, an amazing journey through all of that, transitioning from an athlete. But I think, it feels so powerful to be in different countries and be able to share that story with completely different audiences that you never imagined would ever watch anything you've done,
What was the hardest part of the production process?
I'd say, in America, in the Bay Area, there's like a lot of unions, which I think are incredible, but it also means that, you're working with less than you think you're working with, which is great in some respects because I think our team was so incredible, but I think I didn't realize how many things we would run into, and sometimes you want, more diversity in the unions, and So you're trying to encourage them to let in more black women into the unions and things like that. And I found that a little bit difficult throughout the process. And I mean, there's so many issues that come up, like locations falling apart, casting falling apart, everything that I'm sure everybody at this table has gone through. But yeah, we made it.
It looks great.
So.
संपादन निघायचे डाव्याचं कोणती बघा
Yeah, thank you.